And so it's all about how we control our energy and stay in this place of coherence. The research shows that if we do that for 3 minutes a day, that little exercise that I taught you, it will last for 6 hours. And if you do it every day, it lasts more and more and more. And then you're manifesting the things that you desire in your life, as opposed to, it's not like those other things are not going to be happening. The war will keep happening, or the next one, or, like those things are going to continue to keep happening. But the question is how are you directing your energy? Because the thoughts and the words and the feelings that you have on a daily basis create your reality. And are you wanting to attract that? Think about what goes through your mind or what comes out of your mouth, whether it's politics or money or opinions or judgments. Like, is that what you want to attract more to yourself?
Absolutely.
Well, that's why the third step in my process in my book, Awaken Your Wealth, is it's a pivot point. It's choosing to change. Because we can have an experience and we can either choose to go down that old story that we've always gone down, or you could just say, that's interesting, but I need to go this direction.
What if you were the living embodiment of all pervasive peace? What if all sentient beings all around you increase their vibration towards harmony by merely being in your contact? What if, through conscious reasoning, focused will, and intentional living, you reform yourself, thereby becoming a catalyst in sparking transformation in others? I'm Shilpa Lewis, meditation, mindset, and mindfulness coach for midlife mompreneurs, and you are listening to Omnipresent Awareness, the podcast that will inspire you to use your story to serve humanity in not just healing, but thriving as souls, each fulfilling their highest purpose. Namaste. Thanks for tuning in to Omnipresent Awareness. This is your host, Shilpa Lewis, and welcome back. Okay, so I'm running a little challenge as I'm trying to get more people to discover this podcast and the conversations that inspire those who value personal growth. And the best way to do that is to leave reviews. You can leave a review on Spotify, Google Podcast, or Apple Podcast. So here's a little request from me to you. If you feel like you have received any value at all from these episodes, then please write a little review and take a screenshot of your review. Once you've done that, email that screenshot to me at omnimindfulness@gmail.com. Once I get your screenshot, you will receive one of my infographics. Spark your meditation practice through Sankalpa. Sankalpa is the Sanskrit word for intention setting. Along with this, you'll receive a link to my guided meditation where you can daily practice intention setting with some inspirational music and breath work. This infographic, along with the guided meditation, is guaranteed to have you start your practice for meditation with a spark. It is my gift for you for being a listener, being a supporter, and of course for you to be able to manifest the best meditation practice. So thank you for showing up, listening, and being inspired, and most importantly, taking action. I appreciate you. So again, please don't forget to take a screenshot of your review and send it to omnimindfulness@gmail.com, and I will send you that infographic and the link to the guided meditation. We are now in the season of Seeds of Abundance, which is our third podcast season honoring spring, new mindsets, and abundance. This season will cover mindful money mindset, movement and healing, law of attraction, and embracing the feminine energy. Up next, Julie Murphy. People call Julie a financial healer and money therapist. She is an independent certified financial planner who stands out from most financial professionals as she is all heart, giving hope to millions to create a new life through a heart-centered mindfulness approach to awaken one's relationship with money. For more than 25 years, Julie has led a financial services and wealth management firm in Chicago, Illinois. Like many others, she has been affected by family beliefs about financial struggles. Once she became aware of her ability to shift the energy around what she can attract in life, she realized that she could create a life plan of her own choosing, one based on sound investment strategies and proven emotional and mental tools as well as techniques. Through soul searching, she cultivated a framework to attract the financial reality she desired. She has then created the signature process, PACT, which she utilizes to guide her clients in helping them attract abundance. Julie recognizes that we live in a vibrational universe and offers tools to help her clients attract the financial reality that they desire. And now, here's Julie. Julie, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Shilpa. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you so much. I
Aw.
absolutely loved your book, Awaken Your Wealth. Received so much inspiration. The part about heart map, I thought maybe we could start there because it feels like it has something to do with law of attraction.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your heart has everything to do with the law of attraction. I just actually taught today in my I do group coaching. I start a new group every 3 months. And I was teaching them today about the fact that you can't attract and magnetize anything to your life unless you activate the coherence in your heart. And people who are on the spiritual path or are familiar with the law of attraction, they all hear the word coherence, but we don't necessarily know how to activate coherence. It's one thing to know it up here, it's another thing to then practice it out in the world, right? And actually activate it and get it going. So that's one of the things that it's funny that we're talking today because that's actually what I taught my class to do today that I was doing.
Share a little bit more about that because I've been wanting to join your class regardless. So this is something that really resonates with me on so many levels.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't understand or know what coherence is literally the master key to the law of attraction. What it is that an organization called HeartMath has done all this research and the fact that the human mind only has a magnetic force of about 2 feet, but the human heart has a magnetic force of over 8 miles. And the only reason it's 8 miles is because they don't have anything to measure it bigger than that. So they know it goes farther. And some of this research has come from that they couldn't understand why when the magnetic force of the earth would go 4.1 time, it went 4.1 times its normal reading, and it was on 9/11. And that's when they realized that it's the human heart. And so coherence is when we don't really know that, most people aren't aware of, I should say, that we actually have brain cells in our hearts. And those brain cells in our heart need to actually send the messages to our brain. Instead, we've been highly educated to think and reason and have mindfulness. Well, it's actually not about the mind. I'm like, it's about the heart and activating the heart. And so when we've been trained, particularly here in the Western world, that taking every decision from our minds, and trust me, I'm highly educated. I have lots of degrees, lots of letters after my name, and that has not served me as well as following my own knowing, my own intuition, and following my heart, and then following it with my smarts. And how you do that, how you activate coherence, where then the messages go from your heart to your brain, is the first step that you do is you actually want to activate your heart. So a lot of times people are like, what do you mean activate my heart? Like, what does that mean? It's literally experiential. So what you want to do is you want to, sometimes you have to close your eyes because we're so engaged when we're doing things that it's like, oh, wait, close my eyes. So I stop trying to evaluate
You
and
can
get this
like
monkey
focus
mind,
here a little bit.
right? Yeah, get this thing to turn off, right? So that I can actually magnetize and bring that law of attraction of what I really want to have in my life happen. So closing your eyes like you want to drop into your heart. And it's one thing for me to say that, but it's another thing to feel it. So just like feel like yourself dropping into your heart. And while you're doing that, some people like to tap their heart. Some people put their hands in prayer position, namaste, there. And if you notice, a lot of old traditions have things that actually, go in front of your heart, like because you're supposed to activate the heart. And so breathe and you drop into it. And then as you're breathing, the second step is you want to start to slow that breath down. You want to like breathe in and breathe out. Take a few minutes of slowing that breath down. And certainly, you can take your time doing this on your own. But the real key, once you've dropped into your heart and you've slowed that breath down, you have to activate the coherence. And how you do that is that there are 4 feelings. The third step in the process is you have to feel the feelings of appreciation, gratitude, care, and compassion. So what I did with my group coaching class today is I was like, I want you to, so Shilpa, what have you felt appreciation? Who do you appreciate in your life lately?
Oh, well, I read about appreciation in your book, and I appreciate so much. But let's just start with my husband. He's just so
Mm.
my rock.
Yeah. And who is it that you care deeply for?
Oh, I deeply care for my little boy.
Mm, I know. I remember the day that my son first laid on my chest in the hospital, and it just cracked my heart right open.
Oh, I don't think I felt as much ability to love until he was born. And the
I
first moment
know.
he was handed to me, and yeah, I can
I
talk for hours.
totally get it. And then tell me, what are you most grateful for?
I'm grateful for my health.
Mm. And who in your life is suffering the most that you would love to send compassion to?
My dad.
Mm. And it's hard when we're watching somebody go through things. We want to fix it for them. We want to people please. We can go into all of our limiting belief patterns. But really, our only job is to have love and compassion for them and walk beside them because it's their soul's journey, not ours.
I so needed to hear that.
And it's not easy because there are a lot of people challenged today who have not been living in alignment with their souls that are getting what I'll call coming to Jesus meetings.
Yeah.
Right? They're getting these wake up calls or crises coming in their life, whether it's a health crisis,
Mm.
financial crisis, a relationship crisis, and we really can't fix it for them. But what we can do is hold the space of compassion because that actually raises the grid for everybody else.
Mhm. Mhm.
And and they have to go on the journey they have to go on because it's their business with their higher self,
Absolutely.
right? And so once you activate those feelings in your heart of the compassion, the appreciation, who you care about the most, and your gratitude, can you feel an openness in your heart?
Absolutely. You
So
actually drop into the presence of your heart.
and that feeling that you have, you may actually, I often will feel energy start going up. That's actually the energy, and you're in coherence then because the heart is now driving the engine as opposed to the monkey mind. And that is the biggest magnetic force to attract everything in your life. Everything. From love to money, relationships, the job you truly want, the soul work you want to do, the relationship with your kids, it's all based on that.
That is yet simple yet so profound because of, like you were saying, being educated, highly cerebral, myself
Mm-hmm. Right?
included, and
Right?
the very thing I practice is often the most challenging. Being mindful, being a meditation coach, yet,
Yep.
you know, it's this duality that I live in.
Right. And here's the thing. The duality is going to continue to be challenged, right? Because that's the old patterning that's going away. And we really need to just be the observer of the duality and polarity because that's going to come out more and more. I mean, think about it. Just the war with Russia and Ukraine. That's polarity. It's right versus wrong. It's duality, it's polarity. We can look at, what's going on financially around the globe right now, right? Lots of duality and polarity. And I'm sitting here going, who wants to collaborate with me and let's go have some fun, right? Like, I literally held a client appreciation event last night going, you know what? We're going to have some fun while everything shakes out of the system because we are in a normal contraction period, but people don't feel like it's normal because we've been through so much over the last few years. And so it's all about how we control our energy and stay in this place of coherence. The research shows that if we do that for 3 minutes a day, that little exercise that I taught you, it will last for 6 hours. And if you do it every day, it lasts more and more and more. And then you're manifesting the things that you desire in your life, as opposed to, it's not like those other things are not going to be happening. The war will keep happening, or the next one, or, like those things are going to continue to keep happening. But the question is how are you directing your energy? Because the thoughts and the words and the feelings that you have on a daily basis create your reality. And are you wanting to attract that? Think about what goes through your mind or what comes out of your mouth, whether it's politics or money or opinions or judgments. Like, is that what you want to attract more to yourself?
Absolutely.
Well, that's why the third step in my process in my book, Awaken Your Wealth, is it's a pivot point. It's choosing to change. Because we can have an experience and we can either choose to go down that old story that we've always gone down, or you could just say, that's interesting, but I need to go this direction.
Yeah. And that's part of what now science is talking about when you talk about the neuroplasticity and rewiring. But when I hear conversations from even spiritual gurus like Yogananda saying it starts with a thought, that the element that I need, and you just provided, is dropping into the heart, so that then the heart then guides through intuition, through the soul,
Right.
and then helps rewire the thoughts and brains, because that thing is a nut.
It's chatter, and it's never going to stop. That's why we need space. We need to create space. And meditation certainly helps to create space, but consider that a 3-minute meditation, that you're dropping into your heart. Great. You've interrupted the process of how you normally plug into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody can do 3 minutes. Just like I always say on the money front, like you can give up $1 a week to start to fund your own retirement. It's a choice. It's just a choice. It's not like it's hard. It's not killing you to do it, right? It's just all what you choose.
Absolutely.
It really is.
The 3-minute exercise for someone who is, say, a coach who's guiding other women who are entering, I'm calling it the second act, their life path. It could be anything. In my case, it's leaving corporate, becoming a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the day should they practice? And let's say you're trying to bring in abundance in financial. Often there's guilt. I feel guilty.
Oh, sure.
And attracting that feels like something that I'm doing wrong. So how do you work with clients saying, maybe the guilt is preventing me from going there?
Right. So, well, that's exactly like that pivot point that I was talking about. It's like you can either choose to plug into the guilt and say, this is my story, or you can say, oh, there's that guilt again. Now, I'm going to go over here. And then you'll be tested, right? You'll be tested because let me give you an example. I got divorced 4 years ago, and I finally got to a place where I was okay with my kids, like being at dad's house, blah, blah. And my daughter says to me, well, your life's just great, Mom. I go, well, what part of your life do you not think is great? And she goes, well, I have to go to Dad's house. And I go, well, why does that equate out to, but it was funny. It was like almost trying to reactivate my guilt for not being with my children all the time. And she was just mad because she didn't want to go from one house to another house. But it was the opportunity for me to either tap into that guilt, because it had nothing to do with me or her dad. She was just the little soul that came to me to give me practice to not feel guilty for choosing what I knew was right for myself.
Right.
And that's okay, because on some level, her soul called that in as well.
And it's an opportunity to learn from a younger age also, right?
Oh, no doubt. Right. And she's just reflecting. And then those things stop happening once you stop choosing the guilt or the shame or the blame or the judgment, right? Like once you choose to release those and you focus more on the appreciation, the compassion, the care, the gratitude, well, then it all starts to shift. And I'm like, and I said to her, I go, you know what? I'm really grateful the fact that your dad takes you guys, because then Mom actually can run her company and I'm the provider for everyone in the family for you to like get your Lululemon and be in dance classes and like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
so you shift it instead of guilt to a place of gratitude, right?
Yep.
But God knows I have a whole list of why I could turn it into guilt or shame or judgment. I absolutely could. I have plenty of material to do that. But
and it's just energy, right? Choice and
it's
energy.
all energy. Mm-hmm.
So the 4 elements that you described and the 3-minute meditation, that's a tool that people can use to tap into the law of attraction.
Absolutely. Right.
That's wonderful. And so could you remind us of 4 elements again? And I will, yeah.
Absolutely. Appreciation, gratitude, care for others, and or yourself, and compassion.
And then as you're doing that, you put your hand on your heart.
Yes.
Even close your eyes.
Mm-hmm. And breathe, because you want to activate the feelings, because you can actually not attract anything into your life until you actually feel the feelings as if it's already occurred. So the way that you actually get to that place is by activating your heart coherence by appreciation, gratitude, care, and compassion.
And what you're just saying, you have to feel the feelings as though
you can't actually manifest until you feel it. Well, that's why whenever I coach people, and I do this with my coaching group all the time, is you have to find your giggle. Like I had a gentleman today who was talking about how he was all ready. He had 3 job interviews that showed up, and not a one of them wanted him. And he was going down the path. I'm like, no. You might have been just given a gift of a lifetime. Like, have you considered that maybe you're not supposed to do the kind of work you're doing in the world right now? Maybe you're being called to shift to something else. But sometimes we put ourselves in such a box. So he can feel the feelings of that frustration and anger, and like those people didn't even call me and tell me. I had to follow up with them and I had to tell them. And like you can go down that whole story. Just like you could go down that story with politics or economy or whatever, right? Pick the topic these days. There's lots of topics you could pick, right? Or you could just go down the path of going, I just dodged a bullet. I'm not really sure why those jobs didn't work out, but clearly I'm not supposed to be there.
Absolutely.
And then focus on feeling the feelings as to what were the attributes that you really want to have in that new job. What are the kind of people you want to work with? How do you want to be respected by your peers? Do you want to travel? And feel the feelings like, okay, I'm able to go travel, or I get more time with my family because they don't overwork us, or they let me work remotely so I don't have to commute. Like, what is it that you want to draw into your life? And then focus on the feelings as if it's already here, and that's how you magnetize it.
I find that so profound and timely for myself. Ironic. That is wonderful. And what's the name of the other book you mentioned that you've written? I'll mention in my show notes as well.
Absolutely. It's The Emotion Behind Money. And this fall, I actually have my third one coming out, which is The Four Spiritual Laws of Money.
I can't wait to read it.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I value your time, your energy, and I'm such a big fan of all of your content. So thank you for being such
You're
a light
welcome.
in this world.
Absolutely. And if anyone wants, you can go to juliemurphy.com. And we've got lots of resources, blog. You can find out when my coaching stuff is. I've got a YouTube channel, anything that can help you on your journey because we're all doing this together.
I will place all of that information not only in the blog, but also in the show notes. And I hope you come back with when your new book comes out as well.
Will do, Shilpa. Thank you so much.
Thanks again for tuning in. Check out the links in the description, and please subscribe, follow, and share. And continue to be omnipresent.